Good morning, everyone. It's Stephen Whiteside here from theuptrend.com with your morning market outlook for Wednesday, August 5th, 2026. It's another beautiful day out there this morning. So far, stock index futures are currently trading above fair value. Now, I wanted to start off this morning's presentation with an apology. We had major technical difficulties yesterday, and unfortunately, the three people that I would normally contact to help me through those were not available yesterday. One was sailing off the coast of Virginia. Two of them were up north camping off grid. And yeah, it was just me working on this yesterday and with the help of ChatGPT, which was incredibly helpful. I can't believe how well it worked trying to diagnose stuff and showing me what code to look at and investigating code. And yeah, it's quite amazing how much it knows and how it just works through things with you in a logical fashion without judgment. And a lot of times I said, look, I don't know that code. And it would come back and just be very gentle and methodical. It was quite incredible. One of the things that really helped was the fact you can upload pictures while you're discussing something. You can take a snapshot and just send it up and it'll analyze it and come back and tell you, oh yeah, that's what's in line 66. We need to change this. Why don't you try that? Yeah, the fact that it can actually read images is incredibly helpful because a lot of times you just don't know what you're looking at. And if you're going to review 1,200 lines of code, if you give it to ChatGPT, it does it in a couple of seconds and finds exactly where the problem is. So it was good for me yesterday. It's probably not good for the world because this is going to make a lot of people unemployed. And it would be very stressful to be a university student right now, looking at the future in which just about any job you're looking at studying for can probably be replaced by AI over the next couple of years. Now, there's stock index futures trading higher this morning, being led higher by the Dow once again. Yesterday, Caterpillar had a nice big move and is back on a buy signal. That helped the Dow on Tuesday. Now, this morning, we have commodities up across the board, and we still have crude oil below $80, but that drop in crude oil, for whatever reason, has spurred the market higher. Certainly, a lot of short covering led us to gapping higher over the past couple of days. Now, Shopify's out with earnings this morning, and on Friday, we generated a sell signal. I'm not sure if you came in yesterday and took that or not. Hopefully you didn't, because Shopify is up about 30% right now in the pre-market. We're still on a midterm buy signal. We're still on a weekly buy signal, but on Friday, they sold it off going into the earnings, and so here we are popping higher on Wednesday, excuse me. Looking at the SpaceX, there was our first good day yesterday. We're up nearly 10%, and what do you know? We're down about 10% in the pre-market this morning, so we'll go back to looking for a move down to $100 for SpaceX. Now, we talked about the Japanese yen, and it is the U.S. government that's propping the Japanese yen up at the moment. I don't know if you saw this or not, but some adventurous photographer decided to lean over somebody's shoulder and take a picture. And you can see here it says "to do" by Japanese yen. And that's the position of the U.S. government at this time. So we've seen a pullback in the U.S. dollar. It's still trading around 100 for the U.S. dollar index. It closed at 99.89 yesterday. There is the euro had an inside day. A lot of people are saying that the U.S. government is selling euros to buy yen. That's really, we don't see much evidence of that at the moment. The Canadian dollar dipped down to the lower channel line yesterday. The Australian dollar still on a buy signal here. These two usually move pretty closely together. The world considers them both commodity currencies, and yeah, they basically, the Australian dollar, Canadian dollar move together. So the reason the US is buying Japanese yen is they want the Japanese government to stop selling bonds. And so the 30-year bond was up yesterday. And if Japan kept selling those bonds, of course, that would continue to put upward pressure on interest rates. And apparently the US government doesn't want to see that at the present time. So the U.S. government is not trying to save Japan, which does need saving. It's trying to save itself by stopping the Japanese from continuing to sell bonds. Now, for whatever reason, the price of crude oil has been going down the last couple of days, and so crude oil is on a sell signal. Gasoline has dropped sharply over the past few days, and natural gas continues to move lower, so no change there. Now, we saw a pullback yesterday in Canadian energy stocks. Remember, the market was closed on Monday, so we were down 2.88%, not enough to give us a sell signal. We did see a couple of sell signals in the TSX Energy Index yesterday. We also have Basca, which is broken down below the flypaper channel, hasn't broken away from it yet. Still, we can head down to the 200-day moving average and see if we can find support there. Then we've got Canadian Natural Resources still on a buy signal here, no change in trend. If you look back at the end of June, we got all the way down to the 200-day moving average, and that acted as support. So we'll have to see if Canadian Natural Resources heads down to that level. And of course, the first sign would be a breakdown below 62.50. Looking at the U.S. energy stocks, they were only down 0.46% yesterday, not enough to give us a sell signal. We did trade below the lower channel line, just didn't close below it. And remember, the Canadian market was closed on Monday, so we had to do a little catch up to the U.S. market. Looking at the S&P Energy Index, we only had one sell signal yesterday, and that was Diamondback. And there's that stock back on a sell signal as of Tuesday's close. Marathon Petroleum was the big winner yesterday. It was up 1.82%. It did dip below the lower channel line yesterday, but did not close below it. Looking at the major index ETFs, the iShares for the TSX 60 up 1.23%, while the Vanguard Canada ETF was up 1.63%. Both of those are going to be heading higher this morning on the back of Shopify. There's the Vanguard Total Market ETF in the U.S., making a new high for the Dow, new high for the S&P 500. And then we're on our second day of a buy signal for the NASDAQ 100. Now, semiconductors ended the day on a buy signal on Tuesday. When we look at the SOX index, we just have a whole mess of buy signals from Tuesday's trading action, including Advanced Micro Devices, Intel, Marvell all moving higher, and Taiwan Semiconductors all back on a buy signal as of Tuesday's close. Now, NVIDIA is on its second day of a buy signal, and it came up to the 212.50 level and stopped once again. If we can break out above that, then 225 would be our next target. Now, up to this point, we've been making a series of lower highs over the past few months, and we'll have to see if that trend breaks this time around. We found support at the June lows, and so we did not make a lower low. Now we're looking to see if we break that pattern and start making higher highs. Looking at the VIX of the Fear Index, and it was up yesterday for the S&P 500, the NASDAQ, and the Russell. Certainly no change in trend for any of those, but we did see some traders trying to buy some protection after this nice big run-up over the past couple of days. Okay, folks, that is all for this morning's presentation. Looking for another higher open on Wednesday morning, and certainly Shopify is going to help lead the TSX to new all-time highs. Enjoy the rest of your day. Next time you'll hear my voice is on Thursday morning.
Thanks for tuning in until the very end of today's stock market timing educational video. If you found the content valuable, don't forget to express your support by hitting the like button, leave a comment, sharing with your friends, and subscribing to our channel for more insightful updates. Remember, in the world of stocks, timing is crucial, and following the trend can be your greatest ally. If you would like more information on how we can help you better time the stock market, please visit theyuptrend.com.